just can't get rid of a bomb.
Hey, it's Will.
This is Thomas.
And we're back on the spin of the... because I watched some comedy videos just before this. We're back at the virtual spinner rack. I forgot what the hell we called it. And this week we're going to take a look at Conan 14 and 15, the two-part crossover with Elric, the first and only time Elric appeared in Marvel Comics.
Yep.
And it was awesome.
Well, unless you count the Epic line.
Yeah, well, Epic was different.
But yes.
Hey, Alan, how are you?
What's going on, man?
So it's going to be a really short pre-show because I've got one thing, and it wasn't something that came in. It was something that I found that was lost a long time ago. But it's awesome. And Thomas didn't have anything come in, but he bought a bunch of books online. He meets some authors on the fee day.
Yeah, I'm waiting on him to tell me something.
He's waiting to see if somebody gives him a better offer, and then he'll eventually come back to you. I think that's how those things work. But I found this that I had since I was a little kid with a cover price of 39 cents US. In Canada, 49 cents.
Oh, sweet. Really?
Yep.
Who does the art?
I'm not sure.
Or does it even say?
I doubt it even says. It's an authorized edition.
I have never seen that.
Distributed by Modern Promotions, a division of Unisystems Inc., New York. Published by Ottenheimer Publishers Incorporated. This storybook belongs to, and I'm so shocked that my mother didn't write my name in it, like my full name. She used to love doing that. But it's got a whole Hanna-Barbera cast of characters right there.
Oh, sweet.
God,
I love Johnny Quest.
Copyright 1972. Hanna-Barbera Incorporated, all rights reserved. Nope, it doesn't say who it is. We got Johnny runs on the beach with Bandit. It's like a bigger, flatter, not as many pages, big little book in color. I used to read this thing all the time.
Where the hell's Haji?
Not there yet. Uh-oh. People are shooting in from a plane that's mysteriously passing by the island. And they find a tunnel and a trap door and Dr. Quest. And a slip and fall. Call your lawyer. Then the bad guys show up. Bandit barks and they raise their hands.
Yeah.
And then there's the bad despot right here. Race Bannon to the rescue.
That's what I say. Where the hell was Race at? Was he asleep?
He was hiding down in the tunnels or something. And he peeks out behind the piece of wood that could easily get shot through with his 6-shooter. Saves them. They have dinner. No Haji. Nope, no Haji. They also made Fred and Barney join the circus, the Flintstones on a picnic with Dino, Magilla Gorilla moves to the country, Johnny Quest adventure with the secret tunnel, which is this one. Flintstones at the Snallygaster show, Yogi Bear in the Colorado River. They did a lot of Flintstones, and there's Fred and Barney have a day off. Dino gets a job. A man named Egbert Crumb, Woomer and Betty clean house. As well, they better.
So that's not a very exciting book.
Huckleberry Hound and the Goldfish who had hiccups, and Yogi Bear and the Bubblegum Lions.
We'll have to talk about Yogi Bear. We'll have to one day read the Ben Edlund Yogi Bear cartoon or comic.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Oh yeah. One thing that got me on this one, I know you've been talking about you wanted these forever, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll go ahead and read them because I don't think you said you'd ever read them, had you?
No, I hadn't.
Yeah, so completely new to you. I'd read them, but it's been years since I've read them.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not realize the cool cover. Oh, so there's a cover, y'all. Conan 14 from March, 20 cent. This is like 72, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how good I am. Yep, 72. March 72. And the thing that kind of was cool to me is I had forgot this, but the story is actually written, or they say plotted, but written and everything, by Michael Moorcock and James Cotton. So they plotted it, I guess, laid everything out, and then Roy Thomas comicified it, however you want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
He filled in the words and broke it down into panels. Of course, Barry Smith is our artist here. So here's your Conan trivia for today. We'll see if you knew this. Who originally wanted to draw Conan first?
Neil Adams?
No.
No.
Buscema.
Well, yeah, because he did the magazine, so.
Yeah, well, magazines were after this, but yes,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he did the magazines, and he starts Conan not too far after this, like in the 30s, I think it is something. Mm-hmm. And then he becomes the regular Conan artist and draws it forever. But he wanted to draw it because he really hated superhero books, which is just so weird because he's the quintessential like Marvel superhero guy to me. Yeah. But they did not put him on this book because it was new, and when they started the Conan book, they didn't know if it would make it. And Buscema was the highest paid Marvel artist at the time, so they couldn't pull him off a book that they knew was going to sell and put him on something that wouldn't sell. And Barry Smith was just breaking in. So
yeah, this is like you can tell just by looking at this how far Barry Smith came from this to Uncanny X-Men 205.
Yeah, or Weapon X. I mean, it's leaps and bounds. And he did a whole slew of stuff in between. He actually
he was just Barry Smith.
Yes.
When he got really good, he became BWS Barry Windsor Smith.
Yes.
I need to add another name because my artwork, I'm told, is next level now.
Yeah, I'm that damn good. I need to add me another name. But that's the thing that gets me. You can still see how good he's going to be. His layouts are so good. The art, I mean, the I don't say the landscapes, the horses, the artwork outside of the people is damn near next level as it is. Mm-hmm. But when you start looking at some of the people, you can start to see where he's still learning.
Yeah.
But
Sal did work as they list him as an embellisher because he did the inks and finishes.
Well, now that's Sal, but yeah. John was the one that wanted to draw.
Yeah, John wanted to do it, but
yeah. And Sal's amazing as well. But yeah, Conan the Barbarian, a sword called Stormbringer.
Later, Elric's official sword name gets stolen to be used as Beta Ray Bill's weapon.
Yeah. Is it called Storm? It's Stormbreaker, isn't it?
I think it's Stormbreaker, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was like, yeah. There's your. Stormbringer was actually the second book written in the Elric saga.
No, because I've only ever read Elric in comic book form.
You've never read the hardcover books?
Because there's nothing but words in them. There's no pictures.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, the first book and pretty much the last book of the Elric series were written together. So the first book is Elric, and then the second book that was written is Stormbringer, and it was kind of like the end of the character, the end of the last book, and it proved to be so popular that Moorcock filled in the rest of it.
I remember because Elric books used to be like few and far between.
Yes.
And then like IDW started doing more of them, and Dynamite did some, and I remember back in like the late '80s, early '90s, they did Michael Moorcock's Hawkmoon.
Yes, Hawkmoon was good.
Yeah, and the art on that was, I think it was like P. Craig Russell that did the art on that, or at least the covers.
He did the art on most of those, and that was by. Those were published by. Some of them were published by Epic, and then some of them weren't. I think some of them were published by Pacific, wasn't it?
Either Pacific or First.
Yeah, I think it was Pacific, but yeah, but it's awesome. So the story starts here, and this is what's cool is it's like it starts kind of like just rampant, running straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And Conan is just like he's just going up a damn hill, and he sees a woman being chased by a group of riders on red horses. And of course, I'm sure he can't hear them, but he sees it. And as it says, they're like, she must die. The swords of chaos. But Conan, heads out, and he's like, does it take 4 of you to slay the helpless female? And then they kind of shoo him away. He says, he says, that let's make this no affair of yours. And he just runs head on in like the regular barbarian he is and starts like hacking away. He's like, I'm going to make it my affair because I like the turn of this wench's leg.
Translation, she got a nice ass.
Pretty much. What's cool, dude, is he's like laying waste to these guys. I forgot it. He says, and they don't scream or anything. And then when he notices the horses aren't horses, he kind of freaks out, and then they take him. One of them like touches him, and it's got poison on the blade, it says, and he passes out. Which is cool, yeah. So he passes out, and as he falls to the ground, he says, he says, "We shall, you'll never ride, nor shall he ever rise again this side of hell. But hold, you hear the beating of wings, and these damn eagles come in like on Lord of the Rings, and attack everybody, and they chase the guys off."
And then we find out, just like Lord of the Rings, it was a wizard that sent the eagles.
Exactly. Yeah. Moments later, it was the three cowed horsemen turn and flee. He says, they're gone back into the fast dying shadows. He says, I'm safe. It was I who came to rescue you, and it was the eagles who did save us both. And now we find out that this is somebody Conan has met in the past. Yeah.
Of course, it's a woman.
Yeah, it's a woman. Yeah, there's your now. So there's the scratch that kind of sent him under.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a scratch. Don't worry. And who are they? So she tells him, look, lift the cow, and they're already turning to damn dust.
Yeah.
And then he talks about the horses, which is cool. The horses with ravenous beaks. Uh, he says, so the sin of sorcery affrights you as much. Perhaps I blame you not. Um, and then he says, you know my name, but I don't know yours. Hold that voice, like a cat soft purring with echoes of time lost. A barbarian, it is Zephyra, whose hand you touched, daughter of the wizard called Zukla, which,
wants him dead.
Huh?
Which, like every other wizard in the land, wants Conan dead.
Yeah. Not at this time, which is cool, but he did earlier. And I've got to go back and look because I know I've got it. I got all of them. They talk about in a little bit how Conan and Zukla got in a fight. Here in a minute, you'll see. I know you see it too. But I was going to say this up here. Talk about the scratch that brings him because I just finished reading the 15, about 30 minutes ago. It was refreshing again. And what's cool is that scratch is still there at the end of 15 because not a whole lot of time passes in between these two issues. I mean, it's a couple days at most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real fast, I mean, I would say a fast story, but it's not a long time. But yeah, so daughter of the wizard called Zukla. And yeah, that devil dog vowed revenge on me when last our paths crossed. Now he sent you. And dude, she starts calling him beloved here in a minute. Did you catch that?
I'm like, that's not Talia. That's not Bruce.
No.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. It's not Talia.
And what's even funnier is him using the barbarian term devil dogs.
Yeah.
Which a handful of years after this, there was a certain kick-ass cartoon that happened after the first Star Wars movie came out with barbarians of the future.
Yes.
Thundar, to be precise,
oh,
with
God,
his sun sword,
it's a lightsaber,
a cheap rate lightsaber, and his Wookiee Oopla, the mock.
Yeah.
In other words, we're mocking a Wookiee, and his thing all the time was devil dogs.
Yeah. No, not devil dogs. Demon dogs.
Demon dogs. That's right.
Demon dogs. That show is so damn good.
I know. But I remember back in the day watching him say the demon dogs thing while I would sit with a cup of milk and some devil dogs. And Greek's cake. All that chocolatey poison.
Chocolatey poison.
Chocolatey poison with all those chemicals. Yeah, great.
So she, what's her name? Zephyra. I'm trying to remember all the names. Yes, Zephyra tells him, hey, I've been sent out kind of to find you. Father sent me, and I've got to take you back to him. There's no treachery, he just wants to talk you, and he didn't know that the hooded ones were going to attack me. So she brings him back, takes him to her father. He's like, "Oh, daughter, I trust my heaven-sent eagles arrived to aid you." They did. Not a moment soon. Is that? And Conan's just like, "Is that Zukla? Where's the fiery mask he once wore and the trappings of power?" He says, and he welcomes them. He's like, "Welcome, Cimmerian, or Cimmerian. Zukla was a master of much of Zamora. Is your own creation, barbarian. For when your swift sword hand rent my mage mask, it stole much of my wizardry and all of my precariously held youth. I shall die ere long. The death I once thought cold could never touch me." And Conan is just like, "Hey, it's the same voice, only he's really bitter now."
It's the same voice. He just looks like Volko from that DC book.
Yeah, because I guess I'd have to look. So I'm guessing, reading everything, Conan must have chopped him in the head there and broke his mask.
Yeah,
like
an uppercut with his sword and just cleaved the mask and his head.
Yeah,
apparently.
Exactly. So him and Zukla talk for a minute, and finally Zukla tells him, "Hey, put your sword away. We need to walk and talk." And he does, and he takes him to a fountain, and they get into the fountain. He's telling him, he said, "I want you to look at this, enchanted fountain and see everything here. So look." And now he's look on the face of Kulagath, and he's his rival of. So Kulagath is a rival of Thothamon, Conan's big baddie all the time, the most sinister of Stygians. So, Stygia is like Egypt. Okay. So, yeah. He seeks out the dark secrets to make himself master of our world. I fear will unleash forces more powerful than they may tear the very fabric of space and time. And list while I tell you the tale of Tirhanal. I think back in the day, in the 30s, even 60s, when like Moorcock was writing this, because they don't do it anymore now. They just throw damn letters together and they're like, oh, cool. All those letters, they took like a bunch of Scrabble pieces and threw them up, however the hell they landed. They're like, that's going to be the bad guy's name. Because keeping them up is hard as hell.
Reach into that box of alphabets and just toss them across the counter. We'll find some kind of messed up name to call the new wizard.
The new wizard or whatever. Yeah. So Turneral, Green Empress, daughter of the king in a world called Melbone, and she demon summoned from this mortal pain. So we find out that this is a long lost empress that is from Melbone or Melonbone, however you want to say it, that ruled that country, which is where Elric's from.
And that dimension actually.
That dimension, yeah. That dimension, and Melbourne's actually it's a set of islands in the middle of the ocean. And then you head out and you got the Purple Towns, and you got Purple Towns, and then there's the other sea people there, and then I can't remember where it is. But Melbourne's in the center. It's kind of like Greece, and it controls all the shipping and everything, and everybody has to pay tribute to it. Elric's king now. For a while. So anyway, she gets defeated eventually in the city of and then when she gets defeated, she gets sealed away into the ancient city of Yagla. See, there's some more Scrabble pieces. And then when she's sitting away, it's like they put up a magical barrier and freaking sink the city. But now, this is where they catch Conan. Now, save Yaga's highest towers are shown above the waters, which are called the Shining Lake, low many leagues hence. But they are the towers of gold, Conan, priceless gold, which dances in the noonday sun.
And Conan just says, sign me up. Gold.
Exactly. We're talking a whole damn building made out of gold. I'm okay. Gold, which is yours for the taking, if you'll but aid me in my present enterprise. I do love the old Conan just comes right out. I'm no world savior, mage, and I have no taste for sorcery. But this gold is tempting. So he agrees to go with Zephyra out there and try and stop this woman, Terranol, from coming back to life. And
but what he's really doing is trying to bankroll his next meal of mutton, ale, and women.
Exactly. That's the whole thing originally. But hey, if I get paid good, that's cool. So our wizard here, Zukla, knows that whatever Conan's going to fight. See, this is the thing. Zukla's like kind of keeping down low how bad this situation is. He's like, I know it's going to be bad. So your sword is not going to be enough. So lay it in my palm, and he's going to put some magic on it. And he puts magic on the sword that will help it and allow it to stand up in the future. It's even cool here because he's like, this is something, if you ever read the Elric stuff, they do a lot of like blood magic and that kind of stuff in the books. And he's like, yeah, your hand, it bleeds. Yeah, without blood, my spell would be but an old man's folly. Go now, Zephyr awaits. So as soon as he's been there, dude, he hadn't even ate. Get on the horse, head your ass out. And Zukla thinks to himself.
And now for another Star Trek reference.
Another Star Trek reference.
Why does the wizard's face look like Rock from that old TOS episode?
Look like
when they made Kirk into an android?
Oh yeah.
Rock,
Yeah,
who was
he played on
he played
the
by
Addams Family.
yeah, he was Lurch in the Addams Family.
Yeah. Damn it.
We used to my friends used to work with a guy at Hasbro back in the day that they used to call Lurch because he's like 7'5", and they used to get mad at him. So he ended up working for me at a Domino's that I managed, and I would send him out because he would just speed everywhere. So I'd send him out with like a bunch of pies, and if he gave me, if he mouthed off to me, I'm like, look, Lurch, you can either stay home or you can go now and apply at Pizzoni's up the street for a job because you won't be working there tomorrow.
Damn it.
Then he took a swing at me.
Oh, God.
And he was fired.
So Conan heads out, and this is where we find out that Zukla has not filled him in on everything. So he thinks to himself, it's done, Lord Arian. The Cimmerian rides in the service of the lords of law, though he knows it little and cares even less. Now, this is a thing that's cool, and I'm sure you got it from the comics, but there's not really no defined good and evil in Moorcock's world.
Mm-hmm.
It's law and chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And later writers and people have thought kind of like law is more like the good guys and chaos is the bad guys, but it's not necessarily.
Yeah.
Chaos is just eternal change, and law is, tried and true.
Yeah, and Elric, you have two choices. You can be chaotic good or chaotic evil.
Pretty much.
That's it. Might do something good today, might do something bad tomorrow.
Yes, because Elric's not a nice guy.
No.
So he heads out. Now, in rereading this, I had to actually look some of these people up because I couldn't remember them. And I've read a lot of the Elric stuff. I've read all the Elric stuff, and a lot of the Moorcock
even the stuff with no pictures.
Yeah, the stuff with no pictures.
Yeah.
And I've read a lot of the Moorcock stuff. I read, was it Hawk Moon? I read, the guy, Knight and Knave of Swords or whatever, the guy that had Corum, I think is his name, Corum. Von Beck. Dude, Dancers at the End of Time is awesome. But Zukla now turns and looks back into the mirror here. And he is trying to see, and he finds the vision of immortal Zombar. And she's at some, distant place. And she's talking to her couriers. He says, what if the Queen of Chaos of Swords is be thwarted by some loutish barbarian? 1,000 nays. And she's going to send out her helper here to go and take care of Conan. And this guy is actually, I did not remember, but he is actually a guy in the Conan, or not Conan, but the Elric books.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name? I read it. Yeah.
The Undying.
Yeah. Yeah. They're Gainor. Yeah. Gainor the Doomed, Gainor the Damned. And he's essentially being punished. He cannot die until he's done enough of her bidding and has been released from his punishment. So, and that's part of later in the story too, you see, and he's really pissed off. But this part to me was so cool. I think I saw this in a movie a long time ago where he sees, they're spying and she's like, oh, wait, we're spied upon. Where? And she's just right there. Just put your sword through it. And you don't see the sword come through the water, but they break the top of the water and he can't see anymore in the pool. I just thought that was cool. Especially this upper panel. That's really nice.
Do you know Titan?
Do what?
Titan's got an Elric book now?
They did. They had some at one time.
Yeah.
I think I reviewed one back when we were still reviewing books for the site.
They did Dreaming City.
Oh, that's Tainlorn.
Yep.
Yeah. Tane Lawrence and Dream City, I think.
Some of the older ones were like the Windy City Comics Group.
I've
Did
never
like
heard of them.
Did like a special limited edition. It looks like it's like out of the 50s or 60s.
Oh, yeah. Well, 60s. Yeah, because I think that's when they come out. So he's like, hey, I've learned as much as I can, and they're gone. And so hours later, leagues distant, they're heading through this the forest, and they're getting to the mountains, and Conan pulls them back, and he's like, hey, look, halt here. And she's like, why? He says, I don't like the gorge. It's a good place for an ambush. So we know he knows that people are out there, they're going to try and stop him. So he comes to this gorge. There's an ambush. He pulls back, and here comes, look, there behind us, a huge demonic figure astride a night black charger, appearing in a flash of blinding light. Halt, who are you? I'll give you leave. And it's, I am Elric, and I wait for no man's leave. And Conan just hears Melbone, and he links the two together. So obviously this is somebody he's got to kill, and he just heads off. And they do the standard superhero thing. They get into a huge ass fight. Stand aside, wild man. Let me pass, or I'll carve you as a feast for your own barbarous gods. Yeah.
By Crom.
Yeah, Crom, yeah. No mortal man shall vanquish Elric, nor blade of steel survive the onslaught of my own Stormbreaker. The only reason the sword's still there when Conan attacks is because Zoopla put magic on it.
Yep.
And they get in a huge, just sword fight here. They're both going at each other left and right until finally Conan jumps off his damn horse and tumbles with Elric down the damn hill. And they get up and they just still keep going at each other. You can see, going through this, and when we talked about how how Barry Windsor Smith was getting better, and how his layouts are just so freaking good. Think of that when we did 205.
Yeah.
The whole fight scene is like this. I mean, it's choreographed so well. It's like watching a little movie.
Yeah.
And they continue to fight here, left and right. And finally, Conan's like, he grabs him, and they just stop. And he's like, your forearm can, my forearm can make two of yours, and your grip is as mighty as my own. What manner of man does Zomberg send against us? Or are you rather Kulan Goth's minion? And when Conan finally says that, Elric hears him. He says, I am no servant of the Queen of Chaos Swords. I have never heard of the other you name. Perhaps we should cease our fruitless struggles and bandy with words for a while instead. So they stop and decide, hey, let's talk this over. Yeah. So after they talk for a little bit, they find out that Elric is coming to stop Terranol from returning. And he also wants to find magic that's hidden at the city to use for his own ends. But he doesn't tell. You don't find out what it is. So there it is. Yeah, enough. If it's true, then why do you suddenly appear at the gorge? Some unknown force diverted my path between the plains, and I found myself here. I can't remember. I think I read somewhere one time that the planes of existence thing first came about in the Elric stuff. That's like the first time that the multi-planes, multi-dimensions was in print, but I'm not sure. Yeah, here it is. There it is. Do not seek, barbarian, to know all the secrets of Elric. I've told you much. He says, hold that nag still, Zephyra. Blame not my horse, beloved. Look. And then here comes Prince Gaynor the Damned.
The gay one is on his way.
Damn it. Yeah. Hey, Elric. not safe for work. I know not the somber fate which has brought you hither to perish, but perish you shall say. So Gaynor comes with his Riders of Chaos, and they freaking get into a massive fight here. And this is cool. So Conan and Elric go back to back here, and they fight, defeating everyone they can here. As they keep going on, Conan lays out some of them, and then Gaynor and Elric, who fight in later books, meet here again, and they just continuously fight. And damn, Elric's about to, get killed when he gets turned around. He starts attacking another guy because Gaynor comes up and Conan saves him.
This is a great page,
dude. Yeah, it really is. I don't think this is there's only like 2 splash pages in this book. The first one and this one, I think, so far. Yeah.
The last page too, I think.
The last page, yeah.
Yeah.
This was a little weird for me reading it because we know who it is, Conan, and we know Elric here, but now at last, Swordsman and Sorcerer King battle back to back in a macabre moving tableau unmatched in the time-lost annuals of heroic fantasy. It's just weird. That's a weird line. If they would have left off, unmatched in time-lost annuals and just left off of the heroic fantasy, I think it would have read a little better. And fight they do.
The heroic fantasy thing was probably like a side note from Stan in the letter. He just said, better put it in there. I don't want him getting mad at me.
Yeah, or let somebody know what something is. It's a little weird. So here it is. They keep fighting and can't do anything. They're barely making a move. And Zephyra finally calls upon the rain. Help me evoke the name of Succor of Shesha, goddess of rain and driving storms. So it starts to rain. It's thunder and lightning. And Conan's like, what the hell's the rain going to do us? You'll see. Believe me, you shall see. And the rain starts melting all of the other people of chaos.
I'm melting.
Yep. Look again. Look closely.
Because they're made of a red sand. What do you think they're going to do?
Their very flesh begins to flow, washed by the thundering rain. Hey, wild mane. They were hellish, impure things and ill-suited to stand before the cleansing waters. Everybody but Gaynor, because Gaynor is actually a real person. He flees.
Bet she won't let die.
Yeah, she won't let him die. And he does say a little bit here. He says, hey, Gaynor can't die. He's a service of he's a servant of Zomberg and serves her faithfully. So that she can let him die. And he's a tortured soul indeed. Just what Conan says, and Elric's like, yeah, I don't even think Stormbringer could kill him. So they head off. They make an agreement there. It's likely enough, barbarian, that for reason enough by nature and impulse we fight alone. I suggest we travel together to the Shining Lake. But only till we reach the golden towers of Yagra. So the next is the Green Empress. Another classic cover.
If it wasn't for the kid that decided he was going to try to trace letters.
Yeah. This is the copy I found online to share. I sent to you. I think I sent you some pictures. My copies are much better than these, thank God.
Oh, sure.
But just hey, to read it. Yeah. So yeah, the Green Empress and Melball. So now the story is passed forward. They have left and are moving toward the Shining Lake. And they get jumped on by freaking demons and everything else. And of course, there's Zephyr screaming, Conan, Elric, over here. Still your tongue. There's evil enough on every side this dark night.
Oh, I hear him over here. Let's go.
Yeah. Shut up. And they've been fighting. What's cool is it's later in the story. Conan is like, damn, dude, I've been killing so many people. Even my arm is tired.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fighting there, and he's like, oh, finally we're getting away. And Elric's like, Conan, look above you. And he kills this guy. It's a silent demon.
Yeah.
And he throws it off.
One of the unmen from Swamp Thing.
The unmen from Swamp Thing, damn it.
I remember that cartoon. It was
While
terrible.
in some far off netherworld, hellish anger distorts a heavenly face. You failed me, Prince Gainor, failed to vanquish Elric and his barbarian companion. Is this how you would earn the eternal oblivion you desire? Thanks for not making me really want to do this.
Well, since I failed you, why don't you just kill me now?
Yeah, no, go back out and do it.
Mm-mm. That's not how any of this works, Martha.
Yep. It is still thy protege, Colangath of Stygia, who which even now first to reach the sunken spires of Yaga. So now we find out that Colangath is actually working with Zomber to bring the Green Empress awake again. It shall be he who not the hated Elric who speaks the spell of awakening. See that it is. And she's headed off. So ride, Chaos Source, forward for me, for Zomber, and fight the fight which lies ahead. Dude, she looks a little pissed off and kind of
Evil.
psychotic there. Yeah. Here it is. Mitra, is there no end to this vermin, Elric? As soon, I think, besides it seem to strive more to delay us and kill us. That news does little to soothe me. Where's it said? Yeah. Right in here, I think is where he says his arm is tired from killing all these people. This is cool too. Yeah. So they keep fighting all these demons and monsters, and they kill them. And then says, this is the last of them, Sumerian. Good thing. Nothing else should bar our way. Your sword. What? And he see a little wisp of smoke or whatever coming off the body.
Yeah.
Says, your eyes pierce my spine. You know that my sword Stormbringer feeds on the souls of those it slays and transmits their former power to me. A man should make his own destiny, not pander to the thing of sorcery. Truly, you seem less than humans.
And that's pretty much where DC took the entire origin from Elric to use for katana.
The chick that fought with Batman?
Yeah, the Japanese woman.
Yeah.
With her sword does the same thing Elric's sword does.
Really?
In fact, she killed her husband, and his eternal soul is trapped in the sword.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Is that in the Batman and Outsiders or in another story?
It might have been like a New 52 revamp, but I don't think so. I think it's from that original Batman and the Outsiders run.
I've got a few of those I picked up. I have not read them, and I picked them up because I can't remember, the writer was somebody I knew, but Alan Davis did the art on them. So I'm like,
yeah,
hell,
I think it was Michael W. Bard wrote the scripts for the beginning of that series.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, that does sound familiar. So yeah, perhaps the still as a thing of sorcery has saved your coarse hide more than once. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's Conan and Elric get done talking. Did you not say Zookla had placed a spell on your weapon? Yeah. So she's finally like, Conan, Elric, this way, hurry. So they're damn near at the Shining Lake. They make it there, and this boat comes floating up, only it's made out of like dinosaur ribs or something.
Don't tell Fred.
Don't tell Fred. Yeah.
It'll tip over his car again.
The magic of Coolin Goth. He may have outstripped us to the city. So it's made of monstrous bones. Still, I cannot. All right, this happens 2 or 3 times in this book. And I don't know if this is a British thing or just some shortened whatever. Still, I trow it will carry us to the center of the lake easy enough. Conan's like, I'd rather swim than get on the bone boat.
You know, I don't want to get on that boat because I'm afraid the ghost of the dragon is going to wake up that rib cage belongs to, and I'm going to be dead inside a ghost of a dragon.
Yeah. Well, it's cool as Zephyr there. She's like, "Hey, are you truly fearful of bones?" He says, "Yeah, he not fears the spirit world is a fool. I'll come with you for now. I can always dive off."
You hope.
Yeah, you hope. So he gets in the boat and heads, and then we see Zookla is actually watching from a distance, so he sees where they're at. And of course, what's cool, they're making their way to the city, and they see a falling star. And then oh look, it's a good, it's an omen. Elric's like, nope, it's probably the Chaos Pack of Gaynor. No matter, the die is cast. So they make it to the city.
Have fun storming the castle. They'll never make it.
Never make it. They do. They get up to the castle, and there's not much of the city showing. So they finally get up to like the ramparts, and then past them to the actual towers, and they find Conan Gath pretty quickly, and he's in there casting the spell of summoning to bring back the Green Empress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and of course Elric and Conan just bust in because Conan Gath has no idea who the hell they are. He says, "Stay back! You can't stop me. The dream I dreamed told me I would be supreme if I awakened the dread Turhanal." And of course, Elric just screams at him, "Fool! It's Somberg, Queen of Chaos Swords, who sent you or baited you thus to use you for her own dark ends." And of course, he's like, "I know of no Zombarg. It was Thothamon who sent you." "Hey, Thothamon!" "Nope. Wrong dude." They get into this.
Dream a little dream come true.
Exactly. Dream a dream, go summon a demon woman, whatever it is.
Demon dog.
So here comes they finally get into a fight, and here comes Gaynor. They just lay into it again. I do like this scene too. This is kind of weird. Like not Conan Gath, but Gaynor jumps off the damn horse and kicks Elric in the face.
You're dressing like a gnome.
Like a gnome, yeah. I wonder why they drew him that way. Because I don't think they say how
I've seen him like. There's so many different interpretations of him over the years, but I've never seen him like this. And I'm like, well, we can't have him looking cooler than Conan. So,
but the
put a dunce hat on him, and thigh high lady pirate boots, and some other stuff, and we'll go from there.
Well, the thing that's funny though is like, I think the hat carries on into the P. Craig Russell run.
Mm-hmm. Every time I see a hat like that, all I can think of is the worst magician next to Orko and all of nerddom from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Whoops.
What was his name?
Proto?
No. The magic user from the Dungeons and Dragons Presto.
Presto.
Yeah.
Right after they announced his name, some company came out with something called Presto Magic.
Damn it.
It's like color forms, but they're just stuck there.
So, Conan and Gaynor actually get into it here. And they keep fighting as Conan Gath finally finishes the spell of awakening. And he's so happy. Hey, the ritual's ended. The spell is cast. Can you feel the earth tremble before you? And like one of the towers on the side of the damn city blows up.
Just blows up and collapses.
Yep. And then here comes
Jennifer Walters.
No. Damn it. Turhanal, the Green Empress. Jennifer Walters actually wasn't around when this was written.
No, I know. Still a better She-Hulk than on Disney Plus.
Oh my God. So there they get into it. Here comes the Green Empress. Conan's like, hey, I thought she was, a spell was cast on her and she was imprisoned for eternity. Yes, spells can be broken, Conan. Do you hear me, old Zomberg, Queen of the Chaos Swords? Terrell's rise with her power added to your own. Both this world and the Bright Emperor are yours, or the Bright Empire are yours. And Elric just turns on him. He says, Melbone only serves Arioch, Duke of Chaos. I cannot remember how many Chaos Lords there were. As Elric, Master of Stormbringer. He's like, kill me. Yeah. Kill me. No, not that dark blade can even kill me. So Elric knocks him down and tries to kill Gaynor. Yeah. But even Stormbringer can't kill him. My rune sword chuckles like a live thing, yet Gaynor turns to dust, and he heads off. And though the Chaos Pact do the same. So here comes the Green Empress. She gets over Conan and them, and Coolin Gath calls out to her. He's like, hey, look, I brought you back.
You must serve me.
Huh? Yes.
You must serve me.
Yeah.
Wrong, infidel.
She freaking torches his ass. You three. Yeah. You live as the first of my slaves. Soon Yago will team with the slaves once more. I'll conquer this world, and even Melbourne, it'll be mine again.
Why, thank you, mistress. May I have another?
Yeah. At least I did when I left the Bright Empire. I ask a favor. Favors? Terrell grants no favors to slaves, lest them be the favor to serve her. For Crumb's sake, man, don't anger her. Too late, fools. I'm already angered. That's the way I feel when I go into work.
That's why I'm green.
Do what?
That's why I'm green. I'm angry all the time.
Yeah. So 2 sorcerer's blades strike out, and they can't even get past the shield that's protecting her. You girl, who are you that do not flee in bootless fear before my wrath? I am Zephyr, daughter of Zukla. And here it is. She casts a spell. Or a light comes out of the sky and it envelops her. And the damn Terranol's like, oh my God, this is Eldric's magic. I know the signs. And she's like, it is Erican, he who rules the lords of law. So Erican like starts to talk to her and he says, hey, become my vessel and allow me to do this. And of course, Zukla is just like really pissed off. So is Zomberg there. Zomberg knows that what's probably going to happen is that the Green Empress will be killed.
Yeah.
But Zukla is like, he said, no, don't do this. So much power will destroy a mortal. You'll kill my daughter. And he just screams, but it's really too late, because Erican comes down and essentially inhabits his daughter. She rises up as a damn flaming blue whatever. And her and the Green Empress get into this massive fight. Don't touch her.
Fight.
Yep. Until finally, Erican there, or his whatever you want to call it, servant, kills the Green Empress. Oh, there it is. Yep. Tear to destroy. And as soon as it's done, Zephyr dies. And Conan is, he goes to get the girl. And Elric's just like, oh, the Lords of Law have won another victory. Come, Conan, you can do no more for the one who called you beloved. Dude, that's harsh. She's dead. So you can't do anything else for the girl who loved you, even though you didn't love her. So Elric and him head off. They leave the city, and it actually crushes and crumbles, goes back into the damn what was it? Shining Lake. There it is.
Hail, Hex.
They're great books, dude.
Yeah.
All the early Conan stuff is really good. Even the later stuff. And that's the whole thing, dude. The later stuff, Conan, can be got for in dollar boxes every day sometimes.
Yep.
And they're just great stories, but people don't want to. I don't know. He's just never been as popular as I think he should be. But yeah, this is kind of cool. Elric gives Conan a cloak, which will protect her. He says, "Here, cover her with this." He says, why not? You've done your day's work, pursued your useless quest of sorceress lore, a quest the girl paid for with her life. Your words are laced with bitterness. There's much truth in what you say. I'm indeed a thing of sorcery, and all my actions are bound by it. Yeah, he's like, and Elric's like, he's going to leave. Best of my own world, and those I love. And he heads off. And he says, it's kind of cool here. He says, yeah, we can't ride together because if we do, we're eventually going to come to blows. So we'll split. And then Elric is gone. He like rides through a portal, which, kind of looks like off of Thor Ragnarok here. All rainbowies.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny more strange and wondrous than even the Sumerian shall ever know.
And the colorist gave that page to his 9-year-old, and that's how we got it.
That's how we got it. Gave him 4 crayons.
Yep. They just came back from Denny's.
Damn it. So here's your epilogue. Conan returns back to Zukla and brings his daughter to him. And he's like, hey, you brought my daughter back. I thank you. And Conan's still a little, I don't say bitter here, but a little ugly. He says, this cloak that covers her is magic. You'll like it. He says, if we'd not fought long months ago, I would have faced the Terranol myself. Could we not be friends at last? For I sense we share a certain grief. Wizard and warrior friends, sooner or all cost shall sink beneath the doom dark sea, but you know that. And Zukla's like, yeah. But so I guess they can come to an agreement that, hey, for right now we're friends, but we can't stay that way. And Conan throws the sword down. Here's your sorcery, man, all wrapped up in this shining sword. I'll have none of it. This is the thing that irked me. I got into a fight online with somebody because they did
online?
I know.
How does that happen? Oh, never mind. I'll just have a flashback.
It happens when somebody didn't know what the hell they're talking about. So somebody was like, it was when they were doing the Savage Avengers or whatever.
Oh, God.
And they put Conan in the Marvel Universe and the Savage Avengers. And I mean, there's a few pages that are cool, but most of it to me was just stupid.
Yeah.
And Conan has a sword that's inhabited by like a venom symbiote or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's helping him fight and everything else. And I got into an argument. I was like, Conan would never use a magic sword. If he did, it wasn't going to be for long, let alone a damn sword that talked to him. And he throws the freaking magic sword back. Here's your magic sword. I'm not going to have any of it. And me and the guy got into it. And he's like, it's called character growth. No, it's called completely, out of the character. He's not going to do this. Hell, he throws the sword down and he doesn't even have a weapon. He leaves it and heads off.
There is a classic Barry Smith look.
Yes, you could see. I mean, even in between the 2 issues, he's gotten better.
Yeah. And then we look at this page and go, how come both issues couldn't look this good?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's because he's learning. I mean, this is like his. But what's bad is, dude, like in the first. Did you read the story after this I sent you?
No, I only got the first 2.
It was in the file. You didn't read it?
No, I only read the 2 issues. That's when I opened it up. That's all that was there.
What? I thought it sent over. So anyway, so Conan turns and says, I've got business in Argos. But yeah, so what I was saying too about the art earlier in the series, I can't remember 4th or 5th issue, whatever. They had the comic awards back then, and Barry Smith won like the ink or new artist of the year or something for Conan.
just off of this page.
Yeah. I mean, it was off something.
Let's see. It's funny. A Conan novel was the first fantasy novel I read, and Elric was the last I read.
Damn it. I've read pretty much all of them. I mean, at one time or another, I don't remember all of them. But I love Elric and Conan. If you like the Elric stuff, though, dude, I'm telling you, branch out and read some of the other stuff. Dancers the End of Time is amazing. There's some other work that Moorcock did that's like not super well, it's fantasy, but it's not. He won Nebulas for just he did an amazing set of work. Just output was crazy back in the time. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is awesome. Dude, Lord of the Rings is probably my favorite. Oh, Conan is my favorite fantasy books.
I've got the science fiction book club. Remember that thing?
Yes. They're still in print business, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, if it is, I'm going to order books. I'll sign up with the Clark Kent again.
I just look like Clark Kent again.
I've got the book club edition of Lord of the Rings, so it's like all 3 books in one. It's like this thick.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got the freaking.
It weighs like the same amount as like 3 comic book omnibus.
Good God.
It's like ridiculous. I'm like, are you ever going to read that? I go, well, no, they made movies out of it and they made animated ones out of it. I basically, then what'd you buy it for? I go, because this is ideal for home defense.
Ideal for home defense. Yep.
They'll crucify me if I shoot somebody, but
the
what happened? This book fell off the fridge and knocked him out.
Knocked him unconscious. You have to look and see if the ones you have got the fold-out maps in them, and they've got the index in the back.
Yeah, I'll have to look.
But
I got a bookcase way down in that corner that I have to start digging through because I need to start moving all that stuff out to these.
Yeah.
So
here's the thing, though. If you read the Lord of the Rings in the books, they leave out in the movie. They leave out Tom Bombadil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil's not in the movie at all, but he's talked about in the book. And if you read the book, Tom Bombadil's in there, and even Sauron is like afraid of Tom Bombadil. They don't even know who the hell he is. He's just in the forest. He like saves them, and he's like, "Oh yeah, get the first 10 for a penny or something, and get roped in for higher price." Yeah, but the prices weren't crazy, and you get some great books.
Yeah, and I never knew that there were like novelizations of like comic books.
Yes.
Until then, like my friend Dave that passed away years ago now, he bought and read all of that huge Night Quest and all the one, like there was like 3 huge parts. It was like 3 years worth of books.
Yeah, in a novel form.
He got them all in novels and read them. Well, I read a few of your comics out of this. And then I just read the book. I go, let me guess, the book's better? Oh, there's so much more in the book. I go, yeah, because they let the art speak for let's take about 5,000 words out of each chapter and replace it with art.
Yeah. Well, now the thing that's cool too is if you ever join the Science Fiction Book Club, which you did in the past, okay, I've still got it. It's on the shelf over there somewhere. I have to hunt it out and find it. Well, there it is. So second shelf right next to the Fantastic Four. See where it says Watchmen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's from the Science Fiction Book Club. The only way to get a real, true first edition hardcover of Watchmen is if you join the Science Fiction Book Club. That was the only way to get it at the time. I got that back in the 80s, late 80s.
I've got the hardcover novelization of Weapon X.
Yeah. Oh, do you? From Sci-Fi Book Club?
Yep.
What's cool about that, though, is the printing. When you go in there, you can see it's like they took a piece of black tape and put over the, printed in wherever and reprinted it for the Sci-Fi Book Club.
Nice.
But so Conan's like, hey, look, I'm going to leave. I got stuff to do in Argus. I find a tavern. I'll do a drink to you and the dead. and he just leaves. Classic pose. I don't know if you saw this page.
No, I did not see that page.
I think,
but I used to love the letters pages just for the names they would give the letters pages.
Yeah,
the Hyperion page.
Yep, Devil's Advocate.
Yeah.
So I included this because it's cool, and I think you just didn't go far enough. And that the reason I did is it's a mixed bag of mind-boggling missives. This issue marks Barry Smith's final appearance as the regular artist in Conan the Barbarian, at least for the time being.
So no, put away 16, those. Or 15.
15, yeah.
15. So
yeah, put away those bombs and brickbats. And neighbors, 'tis no vile plot of marvels, playing games, musical chairs with artists of one of Commonwealth's most unique strips, but rather the decision and request to bury himself for personal reasons. Our Shazam, that's the award he won. He won a Shazam. Our Shazam winning young Britisher feels like he would like to move on to other features, and so Stan and Roy and the rest of Marbleton we trust can only concur and wish the best for Barry's luck on the Avengers and our other mini epics he's producing in the near future. Yeah, he did like a 3-issue run of Avengers. I think it was around this time. It's like 100, 101, 102, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The lad wanted to go out with a bang, so he finished his Michael Moorcock plotted 2-parter. Starting next issue, the gregarious Gil Kane will be teaming up with Roy Thomas as a special surprise inker whose work we think you'll dig. By weird coincidence, it seems like the best of times if there is such. So the Conan book had dropped to bi-monthly, so it was every 2 months here. And it's going to go back to monthly, and Gil Kane's going to come in and draw it. But the thing that's cool here, it's not cool, but it shows you, that's why I included this page and the other one. I don't know why they didn't transfer over, is the next issue should have been a Gil Kane issue, but it's not. It's a reprint issue.
Oh, they pulled the Neil Adams and wasn't ready for the deadline.
It wasn't ready. And this is from I think this is from Conan 3, which if you collect Conan books, Conan 3 is a short print. Conan 3 is more expensive than Conan 2. Because it's a short print. I don't know if they run out of paper. I don't know what the hell it is, but I think it's called the Grim Gray God. Is that? Now, which one would you follow down here though? To know ye these the hallowed ranks of Marbleton. Are you a RFO, TTB, QNS, KOF, PMM, or FFF?
I'm a boomer.
A boomer,
but only on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Otherwise, I'm a Gen Xer.
Damn it. Yeah, I used to love I still love all this stuff, but they don't do it anymore. They don't think it's cool.
So the easiest way for you to get a copy of Conan number 3 is to actually buy a copy of Conan number 16.
Yes and no, because Conan 16 it's got 2 stories in it. Okay, because I read the whole thing again online, but I only thought I sent you over the 10 pages here. This was really short, but the reason I include it is the art was amazing, and it's one of my favorite freaking Conan stories, and it's 10 pages. So the first 10 pages here is the comic adaptation of a 10-page Conan story from this book.
Oh, I've got that book.
Okay, do you have this one?
I have the hardcover.
Okay,
I bought it from Science Fiction Book Club.
Yeah, I may have got this from Sci-Fi Book Club. I'm not sure. But the thing that's cool is this book, and I had forgot I had it, is completely illustrated by Mark Schultz.
Oh, wow.
So he does all the cover paintings and the interior art. Everything. But so this was supposed to be a Gil Kane issue, but so here it is, Frost Giant's Daughter from Conan 3, which is by Roy Thomas and Barry Smith. And it opens, dude, on this. Look at the freaking art here. You could tell this is and then you ready? Here's your splash.
yeah.
Dude, yeah. They're all fighting.
Well, not all of them. Some of them are already deceased.
They're already deceased. This is actually cool here. Yeah, the guy screamed. This guy, he's fighting a Veneer. Conan's fighting the Veneer here. He says, "So tell me your name, so that my brothers at Vanaheim can know who was the last of Wulfhere's band to fall before the sword of Heimdall." And of course, Conan and him getting this. They just keep fighting, not in Vanaheim, but in Valhalla. Will you tell your brothers that you met Conan of Samaria? And I did mark it here because if he says, I will tell you how good it is. The book is actually, some of the dialogue is pulled straight from the book.
Oh, nice.
So they get in a fight. Conan kills this guy, and then he stumbles off. Okay, and he passes out into the snow, and he wakes up, and there's this beautiful girl there. She's absolutely raven-haired, gorgeous, and he says she's got skin like ivory. And she's like laughing at him. And, her voice is all high, and he's like, "Oh, it matters not who I am, Conan. Rise, don't you want to come?"
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Perhaps I'm no golden-haired seer, but I battle alongside them. And Conan's like, "Hey, your village can't be far from here because you're dressed like that. There's no way you got out here. Your village has got to be close. So take me to your tribe." And she's like, "Hey, my village is farther than you can walk. But look on these golden, icy lips. Am I not beautiful?" He's like Dawn running naked in the snows. And she just runs off.
Somebody erase those speed lines.
Do what?
Somebody erase those speed lines from that top panel.
Damn it. By Crumb, I'll follow you through the pits of eternity itself before me. Yeah, so she said that's the thing right there. And in the book, it actually says, she says, why do you not rise and follow me? Who is the strong warrior who falls down before me? And then she mocks him. And he says, lie down and die in the snow with the other fools, Conan of the black hair. You cannot follow where I would lead. So he heads off after her. And of course, she's always just ahead of him. And it's like, as soon as he gets close, she gets a little farther until finally she comes to like a mountain crevice. And she's like, brothers, look who follows. I've brought you a man to slay. Take his heart and we may lay it smoking at our father's table. So it's a trap. And of course, Conan just, dude, he lays into the first guy and kills him almost instantly. He doesn't even think about it. And
then his twin gets real angry.
Yeah. And of course, Conan moves and kills him. And the girl is freaking out now. Kill him. He's only flesh and blood. Yeah, there's where Conan hacks the guy's leg. And then punches him in the chest and kills him with a sword. And then the girl is like, the girl stands transfixed with horror and cries out, call the rest of your brothers, wench. I'll give their hearts to the wolves. You cannot escape me. And he goes to chase her. And now she's freaking out. She's not so far in front of him until he catches her. And this is in the book too. He says, your flesh is cold as cold of the snows. Perhaps it'll be less cold when it's warmed by a barbarian's kisses. So he's trying to ravish her. And she breaks free. And this is cool. Ymir, my father, saved me. And the skies like go crazy. And finally the damn mountain crumbles around him and he passes out. And then later he wakes up, the Veneer who survived had found him. And yeah, we know who that is. That is, the guy says her name. Yeah, Adelaide, the firstborn of Ymir, the frost giant's daughter. She leads men to be tortured and eaten for her father. And then Conan's like, yeah, it can't be, can't be real. And then he's got a piece of her veil.
Yeah.
The Mark Schultz illustration for that is really cool. It's at the end.
Well, let's blow that up. Oh,
So
nice.
if you've got them, read them. But that's the thing that's funny where he was talking about Hex Allen was talking about that was one of the first novels he read was a Conan book.
Mm-hmm.
Is in the 60s, I think it was, when Lynn Carter and I can't remember who the other guy was. Lynn Carter was the main one that was doing the Conan books and publishing the paperbacks that all had the Frazetta covers.
Yeah.
He filled out a bunch of other stories and made like Conan pastiche novels. And he took like, here's a Solomon Kane story, and I'm going to take and change every time they say Solomon Kane, I'm going to make it say Conan and fill this in. So this is going to be a story. So they're like 24 freaking novels there, or 24 books
Of
but
Solomon Kane that are now Conan.
But they made the Solomon Kane ones Conan. They made the Cole ones Conan. And they kind of linked them all together and filled it in. But they're not those stories. The Bran McMahon is the same way. Bran McMahon stories become Conan, but they're not.
Hmm.
And they're broken down. But yeah, I love Robert E. Howard. Anyway, so that was that. Great comics. Glad you finally got a chance to read them.
So am I. And then when you picked them last week, it dawned on me man, I know I've got to have these because I've got the trade collection from Dark Horse of the old Marvel Conans.
Yeah. Do you? Yeah.
Well, most of them. I'm missing I think I got 1 through 7, and I'm missing either 4 or 6 or something like that.
The second story in 16, because like I said, it's only 10 pages. The first story is Frost Giant's Daughter. The second story is the story from, I think it's Chamber of Darkness 4, if I remember right, which is the Conan tryout story.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's like a barbarian that's not Conan, but it looks just like Conan. And it's by Barry Smith and everyone else. And they wanted to see how it would be. And it's a guy like in the modern times dreaming of this barbarian fighting in the past. And it's only like a 10-page story. But that's the second part of that. And I think Gil Kane does 17. But, so did you pick out something?
But I can.
But you can.
I haven't, but I can. It just dawned on me that 5 minutes ago that, oh crap, Thomas picked those, not me.
Even though I wanted to read them, I didn't pick them. Oh Lord, yeah, big old stack of new books.
No, these are from last week.
What?
You read that one.
Be like, and so this is what happens when you don't plan ahead.
You know what? Because I've never ever read Power Pack.
Oh, really? We're gonna do the Power Pack?
And like I told you, the only reason I even bought this book is because Beta Ray Bill was on the cover. So we will, featuring Beta Ray Bill and the Warriors 3 from the pages of the Mighty Thor.
Yeah.
Power Pack 15.
Yep. I think didn't Louise Simonson write those?
I think so. This was 65 cents or something.
Yeah. I've got a handful of Power Pack, and I bought them just because they were, dude, it was a great story, a great series back in the day.
Yeah, Louise Simonson with June Brigman pencils, Bob Wykeck inker, Glynis Oliver colorer, Joe Rosen letterer, Carl Plotz editor, and Jim Shooter editor-in-chief.
Sweet. 15, right?
Yeah, it's called The Reckoning.
All right, cool. I'll get it, and well, I ain't gotta get it to you. You got a paper copy, right?
I got an actual copy. I was going to be a smart ass and be like, "Yep, let's read my childhood storybook, Johnny Quest." That'll take all of 3 seconds.
Johnny
Okay,
Square.
thanks for coming. What are you picking for next week? We're done.
Damn it.
I'd like to do one of the big shows on the collection of the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah, from the original one from like 240 something, or which one?
I got the hardcover. It's one that we'd have to, set a future timeline for because it's like 350 pages.
Good God, really?
It's the entire story arc.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't show how it doesn't tell you how Ra's died, but it clues you into, this is what happened, and Batman set his body on fire after he killed him, or after he died, whatever. But it shows him back, and this is and it goes through like issues of Nightwing and various other Batman Detective and other books.
Yeah,
as well
just
as I
send
think
me
like one shots.
Picture of it, a link, and I'll look at it.
Yeah. The hardcover one, I forget where I put the dust jacket right now. But the actual underneath the dust jacket, the hardcover is like a gold emblem shadow of Batman and Ra's sword fighting on the cover.
Oh, sweet. That's kind of cool.
It's like, gold foil.
Yeah.
So I'll send you a cover, and I'm sure that like I can just flip through and get like all the issues. It's a good fast read, but I'm like, well, I had forgotten all about it because I guess originally Ra's plan for his grandson Damien was to transfer himself into Damien's body.
Oh, really?
As host for his Katra there, and another Star Trek reference. So Damien ends up like running for his life. He goes from, cocky, arrogant Damien that we all know and hated and loved, to scared shitless and runs back to Gotham to find his father. And instead he runs into Tim. Let's just refer to him as Robin of the Gay Blade. And Alfred. He beats the hell out of Tim, and Alfred almost kills Damien by body slamming him over a banister that went down like a good 50 feet.
Jesus.
And it goes on and on from there. It continues like in Nightwing and a few other books, but I'll get the list all together and let you know what it is.
Yeah, I've probably read some of them because I know I've read Batman for so long.
Yeah.
It's only been in the last, really, 2 or 3 years that I have not been reading Batman regularly.
Yeah, I quit it.
Yeah, I quit.
As soon as they got him like giving SJW speeches and carrying around the pride flag and stuff, I go, I'm done.
I still buy them. I mean, and it may be good books. I just haven't read them. But I haven't read anything. The only thing I've read lately, I did read the new Philip Kennedy Hulk one, and it's almost like I'll say he's pissed off at the Cates run, but because I never finished the Cates run, I've got all the issues, but I never finished reading it.
They
pretty much,
No loss.
Yeah, no law. He pretty much at the top of it talks about the Cates run, and he's like, Banner attack, had the Hulk under control, and now the Hulk is pissed off, and it returns back to the horror. And I mean, it's a really good read.
Yeah, it's kind of like Cates ruined Hulk so bad that I basically have to pick up after World War Hulk again, and basically started. You sent me off planet, you pissed me off, and now I'm back, and I'm gonna kill you.
Well, what's bad too is, I don't know, he doesn't kill it. Kennedy doesn't say in the first issue if Hulk actually does it, but it's heavily implied. Banner passes out when he becomes the Hulk. He doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And when he wakes up, like this diner that they were at is freaking destroyed. Like the whole area around it's destroyed. And like spray painted or something on the thing is like, or written on the side of the building is your fault. So it's like the Hulk is telling Banner, all of this is done because of what you did. You are the person that brought the horror to these people. Like, oh God, that's not good.
Opposed to Amadeo Chow as the totally awesome Hulk.
Yeah.
It was like, what if Hulk was a preppy and not so much a monster?
No, it's not so awesome.
This is the image that I see from Elric, the one that looks like it's 1960s, from that like weird comic company, Windy City Comics Group.
Wow. Okay, I have never freaking seen that.
He just running around with his boxers and a cape. No,
he's
silly
got
hat.
boots on. Yeah.
Oh, does he? I can't tell.
Yeah, he's got these like gray boots. See, they're like the pirate boots, like he was wearing a while ago. Huh?
You know, apparently he's been going to the gym because he's all cut, so he decided not to wear a shirt.
Yeah.
In the dunce cap. But I look at this and I know it says Elric, but it looks a little more like ElfQuest.
Adam Warlock.
Yeah, it looks more like ElfQuest.
ElfQuest or Adam Warlock. Damn it. Limited special edition. 125. So that's got to be 70s, maybe. So, mid 70s probably. Crazy. I guess Windy City like, Comics Group must be from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe late 70s, early 80s.
I think probably like early 80s. That's when most of the books went up for like $1.25.
Yeah. Cool. All right, I will get that read, and then we'll be back next Thursday.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
No, I didn't break the couch.
And we'll catch you all then. Until next time, read a comic book and enjoy yourself. Try to stay out of the heat.
Yes.
That's right. I'm talking to you.